Zance. All right.
What?
All right, Zance. I think I've figured out how to invite you into this little shindig.
Oh, with the that? Well, I'm not live anymore, so.
Yeah, neither am I, but it puts our names in here anyways.
Knock. Something went wrong. Please try again. Knock.
I sent you an invite. Check your bloody notification.
Okay, yeah, I see.
Thank you.
Accepted.
I'm trying to play Twitch's game, all right?
Yeah, they're hilarious little game. All right, I should actually post them going live now. This remix? What?
Oh my god.
Screen adjustment? Do we have? Okay, I was like, reset to default with classic Smash. Okay. This game autosaves after each scene. Do not turn off your console during the transitions. So quiet. You think they forgot? Forget a royal visitation? No one could make such a blunder, princess. I have no idea who's talking. We'll divide voices once we're in the court, I guess. Well, I guess I should just go in then.
Pretty sure it's just our hero of law.
Oh no, it's a murder!
Not the murder right away!
Oh wow.
Talon's dead! March 17th, 9:37 a.m. Hyrule Grand Court, defendant lobby number 3.
Oh my god, this is set up exactly how
I told you. You'd think that after so many years of doing this, I'd get used to all the stress. So why am I shaking? I guess it's a lot worse when it's your friend's life that's on the line, huh? Come on, gotta look professional. She can't see you like this. Speaking of her, though, where is she anyway? Hey, you over there!
What is it, attorney? The trial hasn't started yet.
But it will soon, right? Would you happen to know where my client is? She isn't here yet. I didn't get to speak much with her when she was arrested, so I was hoping I could at least exchange a word with her now.
Well, you weren't the only one with the idea. I believe she is currently in the prosecutor's lobby. I wanted to talk to her as well.
What? What is up with this guy? He bars me from the crime scene, blocks my detention center visits, and now this?
Not to worry, you'll definitely be here before the trial.
Great. That'll be a joyous 5 minutes indeed. There's nothing I can do but wait. Sometime later. Okay, this is ridiculous. How much longer can he keep her?
See, there she is. No need to get all worked up.
I guess Nick gets melon then.
Yeah. I'm just sitting here like, okay, just vibing, reviewing the document.
What does court record do?
Court record.
Yeah,
Attorney's
record.
badge.
My
That's
long-time
the Majora's
friend.
Mask art. You cheating? The descendant defendant of this case, the victim, owner of Lon Lon Ranch, and Malon's loving father. Proof that I can stand in court as an attorney.
Is something wrong? Did I hear shouting?
So much for looking professional. No, don't worry. Everything's fine. This is Malon. Ever since we met in Hyrule Castle Town all those years ago, we've been great friends. Her heart's in the right place. I know she cared deeply about her father.
If everything's fine, why do you look so worried? Should go a little
Well-
more southern, but oh well. How did the investigation go? Did you find anything? Nothing at all.
Yes,
Nothing.
the investigation. I found tons of, groundbreaking stuff. Particularly that my opponent's a real scumbag. What did the prosecutor want from you anyway?
Well, it was mostly just threats. He kept explaining in detail what'll happen to me if I'm found guilty.
Doesn't sound like a vital discussion that needed to happen right before the trial. He probably just did that so he wouldn't have as much time to talk.
You believe in me, right? I didn't do it. I'd never.
Of course I believe you. Of course I believe you. Although, I'll be honest, things aren't looking very good right now. What's that you've got there?
Oh, this is just a pictograph of Father I carry around. He's gone.
I wish I knew how to cheer her up right now. Not very good at handling emotional clients. Hey, you know, that pictograph could really be useful for the trial.
Oh, how so?
Well, you look so happy together. I can present it to show that you two had a great relationship. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, character, character.
Yeah, character witness.
Yeah. You really think so? Well, here you go then.
Malon's pictograph has been added to the court record.
If they use
The sound effect is accurate too.
It's so good. At least I'll be walking in there with something other than my badge. But wait, we shouldn't be just so idly chatting. Anyway, there's not much time left. I know it's hard to talk about, but could you tell me exactly what happened? I don't stand much of a chance if I don't know your version of the story.
I understand, unfortunately. Okay.
I didn't push
The
anything.
trial is starting.
I know,
Yeah, the trial
I'm
is
aware.
starting. Defendant, attorney, please enter the courtroom at once.
Uh-oh. Shouldn't have said that stuff about having no chance. All right. Everything will be fine. The prosecutor has only been playing me for a fool since this began, but sooner or later, his arrogance will be his undoing. Let's head inside and bluff our way to victory.
I mean,
Yep. My name is Link. I've been a defense attorney for the last 7 years. He started as a child, chat.
Damn.
I've won my fair share of cases and lost some too, but this one is personal. There's so much at stake here. Not only do I have to save Malon's life, I've got to find out who did this to Talon. Talon, he was always too kind. He didn't deserve this. I need to do him justice. I can't lose this.
Isn't it obvious? The ranch hand did it.
Yeah. It was the cow. And then they
Oh,
fled.
they're just
Then
straight
they
up.
fled the country to Mario Kart.
Court is now in session for the trial of Malon of Lon Lon Ranch.
You know, there was a part of me that wanted to do the judge, but I think I'm still going to have
I
the
mean-
majority with Link, so I'm going to shut my mouth on that one.
Yeah, I'll be the judge, and Nick can be Ganon.
I knew this was
Oh,
coming.
wait, was
Yes.
Ganon free? Of course he was.
Yep.
I knew this was coming.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Dragmire, that's so
sincerely
good!
doubt that. What were they thinking, pitting me against some pathetic kid?
Ugh.
Pathetic kid? Oh, Hey, love you, auto-scrolling text.
This is so
Still
good.
your tongue. You bring shame upon the fine color of your hair, vile woman. Before long, the world shall know the horrible deeds you've committed. Let us not prolong the inevitable. Shall we begin?
No, this court is no place to be exchanging insults. Since the prosecution seems ready as well, let's hear their opening statement.
Real quick, drop the volume just a little bit.
Okay.
It's getting in your ears, huh?
Oh, it's already this low? Dang, this is just a loud game.
I mean, you haven't really gotten to play with the settings.
I'm just more so looking at my my audio board in OBS, and it's way up there. Look at that finger animation. What the hell?
The opening statement shall also be the closing one. The girl did it. It's obvious. She killed her own father in cold blood. All so she could have the ranch to herself. Couldn't wait for the old fool to die naturally, could you, you greedy little tramp?
Yes, I did have to.
Objection! Your Honor, you can't allow this man to verbally abuse the defendant like this.
Ha! She committed murder, kid. She deserves every bit of scorn she gets.
Do believe a little less commentary wouldn't go amiss.
Bah! I assure you, old man, you will change your opinion once you see all of the damning evidence.
Who is this guy? How can he speak to the judge like that?
I hope they make a sequel to this. Ganondorf Dragmire. Looks like I've been lucky to avoid meeting this man till now. The stories I've heard about him must be true. A boorish barbarian of a man hailing from the Gerudo Providence. Apparently, he prides himself on nearly clean streak he's cultivated for decades, all while disrespecting everyone in the court, including the judge. I've even heard some attorneys refer to him as the King of Evil. Definitely has that look at the end of the, at least. Who wears a full armor to court?
Very well. Please present your case to the court.
You don't seem to like me talking, so I'll just let the detective present the basics.
Oh, please. Oh, it's Impa, okay.
Bring Impa of the Sheikah Force to the stand!
Well, here we go. The first battle. I know Impa. She's quite a competent detective. Which worries me. Please let her have made a mistake just this once.
So how many pay cuts is Impa gonna be getting by the end of this? Let's find out.
Like, she's in the gumshoe spot, so...
Exactly my point.
All right, state your name and whatever it is you pretend to do.
Wow.
You never change, do you, prosecutor?
Any possible change would be for the worse.
I don't know, your personality could use an improvement.
I know already.
Now stop wasting time. Name and occupation.
Oh, man. Very well. I am Impa, head detective of the Sheikah Force Homicide Division.
True for now, at least. Well, what are you waiting for? Start talking! You were the one assigned to this case, so you know all about it. What calamity has befallen our fair kingdom?
Still can't be bothered to give a proper opening statement? I suppose I can do the prosecutor's job for him this time, for the sake of an unbiased look.
Please, go ahead, detective.
Getting sued for stepping on the ministripe.
Wrong game.
Yeah, wrong hack. The incident happened early yesterday morning on Lawn... Wow, you got to court fast. God damn. Incident happened early yesterday morning on Lon Lon Ranch, a local supplier of goods located just south of Castletown.
I mean,
Remember, this is the same logic that all Ace Attorney games have.
Yeah, they
Court cases
get
happen
straight
very
to
soon.
court.
Yep.
They just get straight to it.
Yep, and guilty till proven innocent. Also, if you don't find who done it, they still done it.
Yep.
The current owner of the housestead, Talon, was found dead in his ranch house.
A tragic loss for our kingdom, for sure. I have seen the man around Castletown a number of times delivering goods.
Quite. The owner was a rather important figure in the local community. In any case, we were alerted to the scene of the murder by the Royal Guard, who were there on official business.
Official business? What kind?
As I understand, the ranch provides the kingdom with vital services. To ensure it is operating as it should, and as a gesture of appreciation, the Crown orders a visitation to the ranch every year.
I see. A scheduled annual visit. Continue, Detective.
When the Sheikah force arrived, they found the victim bleeding out onto the floor. Next to him lay his daughter, Malin, breathing but unresponsive. After a thorough investigation, we arrested her, as she was deemed the only possible culprit. That about covers the gist of what happened.
Very nice and succinct. Keep that up, and perhaps you will keep your job.
I didn't think the good detective here was to worry much about that, given she is the head of the department.
Time to watch her sink slowly into debt.
Oh, which reminds me, why is the head of the detectives herself on a case like this? Are the other detectives unavailable?
That would be because I have been assigned to this case by order of the King of Hyrule himself.
King himself assigned you? That doesn't happen very often, does it?
You are correct, Your Honor. I am not usually involved in fieldwork like this. This time, however, the King felt it necessary because of who is involved.
Who is involved? Is the death of a ranch worker really such a concern for the king?
Well, as I said, Lon Lon Ranch is a very important supplier of goods, to be sure. But that's not who I meant. I imagine the king wanted the top investigators on the job because it was the royal princess herself who discovered the crime scene. Hey, the escape
Order! I will have order!
The music is so good.
Royal Princess Zelda witnessed the crime?
Ha! And there you have it. This case rides on the princess's own words. To doubt it would be to doubt your own royalty.
This is bad. I can't really object to that.
Very well. If the princess is testifying today, it's better we don't make her needlessly wait. Detective, please testify about exactly why the defendant was arrested.
It better do the cross-examination and animation.
Yes! It's in Hyrule text! That's
It's
so
Hyrule
good!
text! I love it!
It is with regret that I agree with Dragmire. All the evidence points towards this girl being the culprit. We determined that the murder definitely took place inside the ranch house. There were only 3 people on the ranch: the victim, the defendant, and a worker who had an alibi for the time of the crime. The defendant was found unconscious right in front of the victim, who was bleeding out onto the floor. Furthermore, she was holding a weapon. Without a doubt, that is what was used to kill the victim. She seemed like such a bright girl. It's most unfortunate. Your Honor, I would like to submit these pieces of evidence to the court. First, I have the autopsy report, performed by the Crown's top coroner. Here is what we determined to be the murder weapon, which we took from the defendant's hands. To make sure we had the correct weapon, we conducted a very thorough investigation. Naturally, we searched everyone thoroughly and examined the ranch and its vicinity. Nothing unusual was found, but to be safe, we also checked the ranch's inventory list to see whether anything was missing. The list matches the items we found on the ranch exactly, and nothing but the saw had fresh blood on it.
That does sound quite compelling. This must have been a truly terrifying scene.
Dying from a wound made by a weapon like this is extremely painful. This only helps to prove the defendant's viciousness.
At this rate, they're going to paint Malin as some heartless monster. There's one more thing I felt I should mention for the sake of completeness. Shortly after we arrived at the ranch, the courier showed up to make some milk shipments.
Of course, business must go on. Is this really necessary to enter into evidence, though?
The shipments did end up leaving the ranch, so I felt it bears mentioning. Were the contents checked before you let them go? Naturally, who do you take us for? Even though the worker handling the shipments did get quite worked up about it, we cracked all of the boxes open to check what was inside. In the end, it did turn out to only be milk bottles, so we let them through.
Very well. Thank you for your thoroughness, Detective.
So, what happens now?
Well, this is where I step in and perform a cross-examination.
Ah, great! How does that work?
Huh?
Could you explain what you're going to be doing?
Can't hurt.
Well, it starts by kicking out a dog.
Well, see, here's how it works. I present my attorney's badge and go, objection.
Oh, I'm
And
not...
I win every single time.
Sure, why not? The witness will repeat her testimony. I'll be able to scroll back and forth through individual statements by pressing A and B or with the D-pad or stick.
They'll just repeat it as many times as you want?
On loop till the end of the day. I will waste everybody's time. That's right, I have to consider every little detail. I can't miss a thing. If I want more info about something, I can use L or Z to press the statement and ask the witness a question.
Grill them for info.
Yep. Since the witness has to come up with an answer on the spot, if they're lying, prompting for more info can make them slip up. Most importantly, though, if I find something that doesn't line up with the evidence, I can press R to bring up the court record.
The court record is basically a list of all the evidence, right?
Exactly. I can open it at any time if I need to recheck the facts. After choosing the contradictory item, I can press up on the C button to raise an objection and present my doubts to the court. Oh, and I can not only present evidence, but profiles as well.
Profiles?
The court record contains a list of all the people involved. I can switch between evidence and profiles with the R button. If I need to review what's been said recently, I can also press Start to see a history of the messages.
Ah, I see. That makes sense.
Is the defense done whispering?
Sorry. If he's so upset about it, why doesn't he just press right on the C button to skip ahead, dick? The defense is ready to cross-examine the witness.
Bah, waste of time.
I sincerely hope you're not implying that standard court procedure is a waste of time, Mr. Dragmire. In any case, we're ready, defense. Please begin the cross-examination.
Haven't
Whose
you learned
defense? My
anything
name
in
is
all
Link.
of your years in the court, sir? Like
Yeah, exactly.
that mental battle is literally half of the proceedings.
To the great regret that I agree with Dragmire. All the evidence points towards the girl being the culprit. We determined that the murder definitely took place inside the ranch house. There are only 3 people on the ranch: the victim, and then it's L. Hold it! 3 people, you say?
I guess that would have to be Mr. Ingo.
Let me stop you before you start getting too excited. If you had listened to the rest of what the detective said, you'd notice she mentioned an alibi.
Indeed. We were pretty certain the ranch worker couldn't have been involved. Well, what is the alibi then? You might remember that I brought up some outgoing milk shipments. Well, the worker Ingo was in charge of them. He left the ranch house first thing in the morning and was busy preparing the shipments after that. Is that so? Surely he couldn't have gotten away from that one really quick little murder.
Bah! This wouldn't just be a quick little murder, as you so crudely put it. You'd have to have taken steps to hide his involvement too. There was definitely not enough time for that.
Unfortunately, I agree.
Preparing a shipment is a lot of work. You have to milk all the cows, clean all the bottles, pour the milk out into them, arrange them all into crates, and finally load it all up onto a wagon. Usually I had to do it together with Father to finish before the carrier arrived.
The shipments were already ready when we arrived at the ranch. When we checked the boxes, they were fully loaded with filled milk bottles. So this Ingo was able to do the work of 2 people all on his own? Isn't that a little bit odd?
Odd or not, he evidently did just that. Clearly, he's a man dedicated to his job. Or perhaps the girl and her father are just very inefficient.
This whole thing seems awfully suspicious if you ask me, but I guess I have nothing to dispute it with at the moment. The defendant was found unconscious right in front of the victim, who was bleeding out on the floor. Furthermore, she was holding a weapon. She seems like a bright girl. It's most unfortunate. You see anything?
Do you see anything wrong yet?
Well, usually it's difficult to find anything wrong with the basic facts of the case. That said, I do think I saw one small thing.
Aw,
Really?
Very
That's
subtle.
great.
I mean, it's the first case. What did you expect?
yeah.
Sure is, because I've got to poke all the holes I can find before the princess gets here. What was it?
Your hint was Saw.
Your hit was Saw.
Oh, duh. Bleeding out on the floor, so holding the murder weapon. And how can you be so sure of this? Look at the autopsy report. Why do you have that?
Deep, irregular wound made by a sharp metal object.
The saw was the only sharp implement in the ranch house that could produce such a wound. And as I've already mentioned, we also looked closely at all other sharp things on the ranch. None of them recent had blood on them. That still doesn't necessarily mean that the saw was the murder weapon. Maybe the real culprit hit the real one.
Oh yeah? Prove it then! Show us the real murder weapon!
Well, I definitely don't have any way to do that. Still, something bothers me about that saw.
So you have nothing. What a waste of time.
Sounds like you should present that Saw on that statement. On the previous statement. Clean of blood.
I mean, if you really wanted more dialogue, though, you can just press everything.
It's true.
Yeah.
let's go through it. That makes you.
Might as
What makes
well,
you
yeah.
think she's the culprit?
She's just about to tell you. Keep quiet and listen.
Right. Sorry. Indeed. As I was saying. Well. Hold it. And just how did you do that? It's quite simple. There was no blood found anywhere else. Had the victim been attacked at some other location, we'd expect a trail of it leading to the scene. Couldn't the killer have just cleaned it all up? Certainly not. The path to the ranch house at Lon Lon Ranch is not paved in any way. Cleaning blood off the ground would require disturbing the soil. Naturally, we found nothing of the sort.
Bah. There wouldn't have been enough time to pull that off anyway.
Likely true. Right. It sounds like the location of the crime is pretty firm, but I'm not giving up yet. Found unconscious right in front of the victim. He was bleeding out on the floor. Hold it! Malin fainted? Correct. We couldn't get her to wake up for a long time. Eventually, we decided to administer a healing fairy so she could be questioned. That's good. I guess finding the body was just that much of a shock, huh?
Ha! Probably just pretending, trying to make it look like she had merely found the body.
In any event, hold it. She sure is. We've known each other for years.
Yet she murdered her father in cold blood. How curious.
I am very intelligent.
Perhaps you're just bad judges of character, both of you.
No way. Just give me some time and I'm going to prove it.
What? We've already read this.
Well, usually it's difficult to find anything. Okay, yeah.
That was the last statement. It's just gonna cycle through to this dialogue.
All right, so I need to present something on a page.
Yeah, I think it's since the hint is saw, press the saw on I think
On
4 or 5, one or the
Yeah.
other.
4 or 5.
Oh, that's the
Both
wrong
has-
button. Ah!
Yep, wrong button.
I think they both actually work here.
I think so. And see up.
Oh, see up, right. Objection! Huh. This seems like a fairly large oversight. I just wanted to make sure the paper. Yes. I just wanted to make sure of something. The state the saw is currently in is how you found it at the crime scene? That's correct. That's strange. Considering how much the victim bled out and how deep his wound was, why is there no blood on the supposed murder weapon? The title screen is Pursuit.
Hilarious.
Ha! Is that all you have?
Huh?
Naturally, the prosecution has an explanation for why the saw is clean.
I licked it.
Wisely.
Behold, this cloth was found in the defendant's other hand. As you can plainly see, it is stained with blood. The defendant simply wiped the murder weapon in a futile attempt to hide her involvement.
It's so good, Draco. Welcome. Objection! If Malin was trying to hide her involvement, why didn't she just leave the crime scene?
Bah! Obviously, she was trying to hide the body before the royal visitation arrived at the ranch. Unfortunately for her, it just so happened that the delegation arrived quite a bit earlier than scheduled. In a panic, she quickly wiped the saw off and pretended to faint to make it look like she just stumbled upon the scene.
Ugh.
Young lady, things are not looking very good for you right now. The court accepts the bloody cloth into evidence.
So, what's the story with the cloth?
Well, as I was doing a final check around the ranch, I noticed that part of the fence around the horse paddock was damaged. Not entirely sure when that happened, but sometimes one of the horses just gets a bit too rowdy, you know?
Right.
Anyway, I didn't want to bother Mr. Ingo about it, so I tried to cut up a new rail by myself to patch it up. But then the saw slipped and I cut my hand open.
Oh, goddesses! Are you okay?
Well, it wasn't that bad. It did bleed quite a lot, though, so I used that cloth to quickly bandage the wound.
Oh, goddesses.
I was actually going into the ranch house to ask Father to help me with the fence.
Ha! A likely story. And impossible to verify now, of course.
And because you used a healing fairy, you bitch.
The Sheikah had to use a fairy on the defendant to get her out of her supposed unconsciousness. I do have to give her some credit. She is one cunning woman. She knew that would explain a sudden lack of any wound on her hand.
Oh, why, yes, fairies are wonderful. Just the other day, I slammed my horn with the gavel, and one took the pain off immediately.
Why would you waste a fairy on that?
I know, right? Jeez.
Yeah, seriously.
I didn't like even mention it.
Great. Glad to know they're used for such important things. But, dang it. Too bad there's no way to tell whose blood is on that cloth. Welcome, Grace. So good.
I do believe this matter has been settled. I am ready to call my next witness.
Uh-oh. Is that all I can get out of her?
You've served your purpose, Sheikah. Be gone!
Fine. But you had best treat Her Highness with respect, or I'll see to it that you spend the night in the dungeons.
Do not presume to threaten me, Sheikah. A night of darkness and solitude would be nothing but comfort for me.
Is that so? Then perhaps we should fill the dungeons with lit candles for the occasion. They're glaring daggers at each other. If this doesn't end soon, we're all in for trouble.
Order! Order! I'm sure we'll treat the princess with the utmost respect.
I think you mean disrespect, but okay.
You may step down, detective.